Friday, July 18th, 2014, a little after 3 p.m. This is a meeting of the Commissioners' Coversheet Review Committee that was appointed by the President and Secretary of the Board at the meeting on Tuesday to review cover sheet and amended cover sheet matters that have been submitted within the last 3 business days. We have, Commissioners, for you amended cover sheets and now a few regular cover sheets that additional defects record for designated petitions, as well as the opportunity to ballot petitions whose filing period began first on Tuesday. David, you want to start with Queens first?
Sure.
So, there's only one matter, so that can go quickly.
Okay, this is an amended cover sheet for State Assembly. The candidate did not put in their party or office under public office. However, this matches up with the petitions. This
Didn't
was
have the district. Public office, this was the original cover sheet. This is the amended.
Yeah.
So, and this is, by saying it's a public office, State Assembly, with a district number, it's the only public office being elected by the Assembly. We think it's a good cure, and they have the certification language at the bottom. And Commissioners, if you would sign. I got the stamp of the date. Okay. Thank you, David. And Ben and Queens.
Yep.
Thank you.
Who wants to go? You want to deal with all the Brooklyn?
Yes,
Yeah, you
please.
got a lot of letters.
Got a lot of letters.
And it's the Brooklyn Commissioners. Let's go.
Brooklyn represent.
What do you want to deal with
I
first?
feel like this one. We should do
That's what
first.
the good about, those
I like
good?
to do the hard stuff
Okay.
first. Oh, this chair's really low. Okay, so on this one, what they were correcting is that the page numbers were not numbered. So these are the original petitions.
Well, we're not numbered.
With that
Yes,
number.
so you can just see really quickly that
They were blank.
they were all blank. And so they cured them by filing copies and numbering the copies, which for the most part is correct.
We've had a team go through page by page, and with the exception of one volume,
Yeah.
they all of these matched. There were no additions, deletions. The only thing it added on was the page numbers. The sequence remained the same as the volumes. So we're going to recommend those as a valid cure. One volume did not match that pattern. So while I stamped those, we wanted to show them what happened.
So on this one, 1416, the original one contained 3 more pages than the amended volume. They just stopped at the last 3 are missing. So while that stops at page 20, this has 23 pages.
No, it doesn't, the volume's correct. The only difference would be, Commissioners, is that if you deem this a valid cure, which I think it is, they would be limited in the event that, to claim only through the first 20 pages of this volume. The last 3 pages will not be considered in there, so if they're short, they're the ones who made the mistake. But you can see this is 1, 2, 3, the end, this is the last page. With the last 2 signatures there, these 3 pages, just were not included. Whether it was an oversight or not, that's fine, but my recommendation is that with the understanding that they'd be limited to what is in the cures would be accepted.
And you will send them information indicating that?
Well, CRU will note in the ledger that the cure is that the cures were accepted, and the cure volumes are what now is the operative petition.
But nothing gets sent out to them, correct?
No, it's because if we're deeming it as a valid cure, unless there's an objection that comes up, then we would advise the boroughs that they work, the spec would have to be against these pages, and since these pages don't have page numbers, they couldn't spec it.
I understand that. I was just trying to find out how you were going to.
It's valid, and again, they have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 volumes, and the candidacy they are seeking starts are all within an assembly district, so they need 500 good signatures. So, again, it's more that it's clearly when the cover sheet's correct when they claim they had an excess of the signatures required. So the only thing is they're ending up, in a sense, forfeiting 30 signatures. Okay, so
this one, these are two separate things, two
Sure.
separate cures. So one is on a county committee schedule. They were missing, yeah.
Where's the original schedule? Yeah, we can go. Commissioners, the original schedule lacked the volume ID numbers. So they filed a cure, and for the ones they claimed, they filled in the ID numbers.
There's only an issue with Irma Moore.
What's the issue with that one?
The zip code on petition does not match the zip code on the cover sheet. Oh, right, so here, as you can see, this could be up to your discretion as well, but it seems that this is an 8, and all of the other ones end in a 5.
So maybe we made a mistake.
You know, two people looked at it and I looked at it and we all believe it appears to be an 8.
We have addresses on the same block here. And
Yeah.
the first few are 5,
Mhm.
so.
All right, so then if that's you, then we would recommend this to be a valid cure, including for her.
And then the other issue here is that on the amended cover sheet, he does not appear on the petition that they're claiming.
So I think this is where I recommend not a valid cure, we're not okay. Because commissioners are claiming volume 1564, which you have in front of you, and
The original issue
Mr.
was,
Philpotts only appears on the state senate petition. He doesn't appear for district leader, Mail State Committee.
the original defect was that they didn't have the ID, the volume identification number.
That only applies to his candidacy, a member of the Democratic State Committee, not to the Senate.
This was filed prematurely. So, yeah, we sent out a notice on July 10th. Shares that it was accepted on July 11th.
But yet they filed, no, but they filed, again, Commissioners, as you know, our cover sheet committee meeting on July 10th was at 4, July 10th was Thursday, right? Was it 4 p.m.? They filed this at 2:49.
This is one of the ones that didn't go out on the same day, so it actually went out on July 11th in the morning. But they filed their amended cover sheet on July 10th.
Now, corrected by, because they claimed there were no page numbers. I don't know how they got wind of it since we didn't get the notice out to them. So technically, they had no right to file this on the 10th.
Did they actually follow what the notice says?
Well, the notice is upon receipt, and it was not received by the post office to the 11th, and it wasn't delivered to them until the 12th. And then it says 3 days from the date of the notice.
They're doing better.
They beat, they somehow beat it.
I mean, they beat the determination of the commissioners,
Yeah.
because this probably didn't go in front of the commissioners until
After 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Maybe they caught the mistake themselves. and they took
But
it.
Commissioners, the
Why did
amending
they
page
call?
numbers,
Why did they call?
amending page numbers is not as of right. It can only be if you give them notice.
But can they call
Call
the Board of Elections?
the Commissioner,
I
at
guess-
2:49 p.m. when they filed this, there was no defect.
So they wouldn't have known.
Because it didn't go to the Commissioners Committee until 4 o'clock.
What's your recommendation?
My recommendation is not a valid cure because they filed it prematurely without any notice and any opportunity to cure. Otherwise, we're going to set a precedent and anybody can come in and file copies of petitions on their own, and then we're going to accept them. Commissioners, they followed this on July 9th. The board has 2 business days in which to review it. So even though it didn't get mailed to the 11th, it still met the deadline, it was within 2 business days. And they get 3 days from the date of the notice.
What was the only amendment?
Page numbers.
Is this issue come up before?
We've had other people who've attempted to file cures before the notice went out, and we've deemed it invalid.
So what's the recourse now?
I guess they can go back to court. If anybody specs them, they can spec against the original volumes with no page numbers. The first spec will be is that your petition doesn't meet the requirements. We did give them notice that the 3-day period ran, assuming it was the 11th, they had Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week to refile this, if you will.
Let's take
Okay, on this one, the original cover sheet had a few defects. It was missing the name of the party on the top. It had the wrong ID numbers and had the wrong number of volumes in the petition. When they corrected it, they fixed everything except for still claiming 2 volumes for only 1 volume filed. So that defect is still not cured. We have the same issue here. The original cover sheet was missing the name of the party on the top. It did not claim the right amount of volumes, and it claimed incorrect volume numbers. On their amended cover sheet, they cured everything except for still claiming the wrong ID numbers. The candidates appear on King's petitions 1106 through 1110, and they are claiming these numbers. I think it's like 500 in the 500s.
Which is what happened, Commissioners, is they put their stickers on the defective cover sheets, not on the petition volumes. Under our rules, if a volume is filed without an ID number, we add it. Forget it doesn't. So that's where the opportunity is. He should have checked his petitions or looked in the ledger and seen what the correct numbers attributable to him. They continue to use the numbers that they put in their own place.
So we recommend an invalid cure.
Can we table this one?
This one, the original cover sheet only said 54th Assembly District. It didn't specify the office for which
Or
they're
party
running.
position.
Right, the position, excuse me. And on the amended cover sheet, they did the same thing. The only difference is they added in New York State, but they didn't specify if it was assembly member or
State committee.
state committee.
Or delegate even. So our recommendation is not a valid cure.
See if cursor was also,
Over here.
yeah, still together. On the brighter side, we've got some good ones. So on this one, the original committee schedule was, they were missing the zip codes. And on the amended ones for the ones that were
They're claiming.
claimed, they corrected those defects. issues. They were missing the number of volumes and which page numbers they appeared on. And they corrected all the, they were also, they had multiple EDs in one, what do you call it, box?
And when declaiming the ED, they put people into two EDs, and each should have been in each one of the box.
So now they amended them by making new committee schedules and separating everything and including the page numbers on which they appear and the
Number of
petition
volumes.
numbers.
And the number of volumes.
Yes. These are very nice.
Oops, sorry, Julie.
And this one, the originals were missing the zip codes. So on the amended ones, they included their zip codes. In this one, the original cover sheet had a Warmer Avenue and the petition had a Warmer Street. So on the amended petition, they corrected it to reflect what appears on the petition, which is street. In this one, the petition has an address that's Grove Street. On the cover sheet, they had Etna Street. So on the amended cover sheet, they changed the address to match what's on the petition. Grove Street. This one, the original cover sheet had an incorrect name, it's Kremerer, when on the petition it's a Kemmerer. So on the amended cover sheet, they corrected the name. Now we have some opportunity of ballot defects. Here, while the petition is correct, the cover sheet states the name of the candidate instead of just the office.
The election law provides that, and if you could see, Commissioners, on the language of the petition, write in the name of an undesignated candidate. So then this should be black. We didn't bring that in, a good cover sheet for the OTPs? All right. The correct cover sheet should have been name of the party, and then just the
Something like
office. Yeah. With no name of the candidate. So this is curable. The petition is correct. It has the committee to receive notices. Just the cover sheet is defective. So I believe we have one. Again, this is for the 3 volumes for the assembly candidate, the public office. Because they're on 3 volumes, the state committee male and female is only on 2. They did the same, but that's for the assembly. The same came in claiming
This one, male.
they're male and female, including claim that he had to be both. So we were recommending that we give them the opportunity to cure. This would be for the assembly. This is
This is the female state committee.
So the assembly, as I say, applies to 3 volumes. This cover sheet, male, female state committee applied to these 2 volumes.
So you said they have time to carry?
If we give them a notice, they'll have 3 business days. The notice will go out today, they'll have to midnight Wednesday to file. So we ask you to initial yes in the respective boxes for yourselves, for your borough. This would be for the district leaders. Cover this?
Same issue here, it's Conservative Party.
Petition is correct, the cover sheet is not.
Yes.
It's actually to give them the 3 days to cure.
Screw that. He's not right.
Those are filed.
Mr. Fondley.
Let's see. Those are prima facies.
Mhm.
So what do you mean this is filed? What is this? Amended?
They were filed as amended, but the original cover sheets were never filed.
Yeah, so that's, no, the commissioners. Commissioners, as you know, the court ruled last year that if you don't file a cover sheet, it's not curable. Several people received already prima facie defect notices telling them that they're off the ballot because they didn't file a cover sheet. They attempted to file an amended cover sheet, but since there was no notice a notice of non-compliance, they have no right. So it does get,
Did they ever
what?
file, did they claim they ever filed a cover sheet?
They gave us an amended, but there's no original cover sheet attached to it. Well, there is an original cover sheet
It's the
attached to it.
It's the
Same one, but it clocked in also on July 14th. The last night to file was on midnight, July 10th.
They filed the original cover sheet and then the same cover sheet with amended, crossed out.
You can actually see it, and then see what they did by hand. The original cover sheet, they wrote it in the same time, then they took a copy that wrote amended, or just wrote it on the bottom, the certification. They're aware of it, they threatened him to go to court. We told them, go ahead, the appellate division, second department, this is a Brooklyn case, ruled unanimously last year, and I don't think they're gonna reverse themselves in 1 year. And in fact, the notice actually to them, just so you know, we gave full disclosure, we cite the appellate division case, so they know exactly what they're going up against. What else do we have? That's it for Brooklyn. Then, do you want to do the 2 you laid aside today, or is that going to, you want us to roll over the Tuesday?
To Tuesday to the full?
Well, no, we have another cover sheet review committee of Commissioner Rajo and Commissioner Michelle.
I'm gonna let it roll over to Tuesday.
Okay. So, anybody else says, the other big clips for this, mark these that this committee referred us to Tuesday's committee. So that's Cyril Joseph and Duro Sidney. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Commissioner.
you.
Mr. Commissioner, this is, it's a candidate who we've had experience with in the past. This is a page numbering defect. You want to go through that?
Sure, if you look on page 170, it jumps to 180, there's no 171 through 179. So we want to send them a notice asking them to fix the defect.
Okay, that's good. But this initial in the yes
Just
box.
initial yes box. Commissioner, this is better than the others because these bolts actually unscrew. We can actually take it apart.
Did you have the other self-tethering or whatever they call it?
We,
Those screws?
several years ago, there was ones that they cut off and flattened it, and Mr. O'Grady had to bring in a drill to literally cut into the, yes.
Okay, this one. Sorry. 15 pointed out that Wandell Davis Jr. on the cover sheet, his zip code is 27, ends in 27, and on all his petitions he's claiming it says 37. Notice. Yeah. petition because it's out for specs, but I do have the letter I sent and the original defect sheet that says that originally there was no page 25 and there were two page 32s. We sent this notice, she filed this amended, wherein and the team signed off on it, they checked every page, everything is sequentially numbered. So I'm going to say this is a valid cure.
In case somebody wants to spec this. Come out dark, come out with the ink.
This one, oh, he got a opportunity to claim letter saying that he appeared on 275 and that he didn't claim it, so they filed an amended where he claims 275. And the team checked it as well, so.
Thank you.
This one, she received a defect notice that the petition ID number she was claiming were incomplete. She left off the borough identification instead of, NYBXQN, something like that. So they filed the amended, and now she has the NYs, which the teams checked it. She's on both of them, which this is a certification as well.
We've had fewer cases where they have not filled the certification. I guess people heard that the court was sustaining it, so.
And for these two candidates for state committee, same problem. They had no NYs, and she filed it. This candidate, she originally was on cover sheet that claimed both these volumes, but she only appeared on 383 and not 384, so they filed this amended cover sheet, and she just claims 383 with the certification. That's good. Similar for this candidate, originally she was with this slate and she claimed 603, but just Jill Greenberg was not on 603, she was on 477, so they filed this amended cover sheet wherein she only claims the one she's on. This candidate, original cover sheet on the last number, last ID number, they left off the year designation, the 1-4. So they filed a new cover sheet where they properly claim it and have it in there. These candidates, on the original cover sheet, they left out the total number of volumes in the petition line, and then in this one, they have it didn't have the certification at first, and then they realized. This candidate, originally, on his last number of volume here, it's, there's no 58 and there's not enough numbers in there, so we sent him the letter. And it turns out it was 568. He fixes it, he's on all three, it's deemed it good.
And the certification at the bottom.
And it's also had the same problem, just an awful for this candidate, and he fixes it in this one as well. The original cover sheet, this candidate lists their address as 210 West 72nd, and on all the petitions he claims it's actually, it says 770? 201. Right, 210 to 201. So we sent them the letter and they made it so it matches the petition, and that is the address he's registered to, so. Sure, which comes first, the petition or the printer's letter or the cover sheet?
That's up to the other I think the defect, Commissioner, is that the petition and the cover sheet had the zip code incorrect. It only had 4 digits. In response to the prima facie notice, the candidate through his attorney, Jerry Goldfeder, submitted a printer's letter. So the question is, do you want to act on this now, because the printer's letters will be submitted with the prima facie at the full hearing, or do you want to defer action on the cover sheet? If you and your colleagues accept the printer's letter, then the amended cover sheet will be good. I think we've recommended that you just defer action on the cover sheet at this point. And at that point, we will have a whole, I think there's a half a dozen or so printer's letters or more with cover sheets. We'll have those done, and then I would suggest that once we deem the printer's letters valid in those cases, that the amended cover sheets that match the printer's letters will be deemed valid as well. We'll just deal with it all at the hearings. I think otherwise you may be accepting this, but if your colleagues reject that, the petition's dead anyway. Okay, so we're just going to mark this as deferred. Then we have the other ones that presented on the same thing. We didn't do the memo for that, Commissioner, I apologize, but you're going to do those, you got the 2 others with the memos?
Right here.
Okay.
Just, one is where I have not sent the privation defect, the one that I did. This one is, this one I did send privation defect, but they haven't responded yet. But they did file their cover sheet that literally cures it.
So again, we're recommending, and this time we'll have a memo, and we're asking you to approve it, that you defer action until the, either the prima facie defect is attempted to be cured and ruled valid by your colleagues. In the event that there's no attempt to cure the prima facie defect, you sustain the defect, the petition is out, the candidate's out, the amended cover sheet will be released. So what we ask is for today, if you would just initial the recommendation, let's see that right below there, and we'll rank one up for the comment forward. You want to do the same for that, the other one?
Yes, something similar where originally they had a cover sheet defect that didn't allow us to identify the petitions that they were claiming. So we didn't catch the defect or prima facie defect that he has 2 different, this candidate, Michael Ortiz, has 2 different addresses on each of the petitions. One says 407, one says 417. So we wanted to send a letter letting him know that that he has that problem, maybe file or appear at the hearings, and we wanted to defer judgment on the cover sheet until then.
All right.
cover sheets that came in that we believe are not valid, so they omit the certification language as required by C4. And this is just for this candidate, everybody else is okay from their previous cover sheet.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You need what? Which one is that?
Yeah, it's the one with the bolts in it.
Oh,
We have a spec and a ship.
well, but you're gonna have to make a copy first, because they're gonna ask for a copy, because they're getting a page number defect.
So I can make a copy first and then ship
I
it.
would think you would wanna make a page number, because the notice hasn't gone out yet. But, yeah, make it, because it is, they approve the page number in defect.
Okay.
So you should probably do that this way, so when they come in here, you'll have it for them.
Not an issue, thank you.
And then you can ship it to the town, okay?
Thank you.
That should be everything I have.
All right, so you got some others to write.
Not too many.
And the copy to see how you, another waiting and bated breath. You have your stuff?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is it all Bronx, or is it Staten Island?
Oh, there's one second.
Oh, good, okay.
Sounds about right.
That's Bronx.
What do you need?
Steve,
Oh, that's the memo from, oh,
She
that's,
has one more comment. That's, she's writing up one more.
oh, okay. These are memos for you commissioners that are on the specs.
This is an amended cover sheet. The original cover sheet did not have the full name, public office, and the residency was not on the petition. In addition, prima facie notice was given to them about the lack of full office on the petition and the lack of an address. An amended cover sheet's been submitted with the full name. However, the office simply,
Commissioners, as opposed to the others, I think this is still confusing. New York State Bronx Assembly District 86, but it's up to you whether you think it reasonably describes the office.
This is the amendment.
That's the amendment. And as I said, there will be a,
What else would it be?
shouldn't it be member of the assembly? I was gonna say assemblyman or woman, but it's up to you. The fact is, this is going before the board because the petition itself didn't have the district, and that will be a fatal defect. But it's up to you to decide on the cover sheet. Do you think it's a valid cover sheet?
What difference does it make if that's?
Well, the difference is it'll remain on the ballot at least for another week. At least on our records, it's on the ballot. For the hearings. Our recommendation is that the office is not sufficiently stated, but I think, again, that this is a judgment call. It's not black and white as opposed to if there was no district at all.
I think this is okay.
I think so too.
Okay? Make it that one, you know.
And then what happens with this?
This will be, you'll see this name again on July 29th and 30th, depending when we do the Bronx. And you will ask the question, we will ask the question of a candidate, what district were you running in? Look at your petition. And he's gonna say, like always, everybody knew where I was running.
It should be stated.
It's required to be stated.
I understand.
Okay.
I agree.
this is a defect of county committee for the 85th Assembly District. They mislisted the petition volumes on these pages and most of the pages following.
They inverted the numbers, and so this is curable, and I'll get to a yes. When the county committee staff was inputting, they realized that because it was, after putting in all the other numbers, they realized the sequence was not correct.
lot of work in that.
Yeah. That's why we go check and cross-check and do the cleanup.
This is an amended cover sheet. The original defect was that the stated address on the cover sheet did not match the petitions. The petitions. The petitions initially listed the 825 Morrison Avenue address. The amended cover sheet has come in matching the address listed on the petitions. This is another amended cover sheet. Initially, they have the public office listed separately from what was listed on the petition. They do not match. The initial cover sheet is attached to the back. The amended cover sheet is on top, matching that of the petition. This is another amended cover sheet for Staten Island. Initially, you can see on the cover sheet they had extraneous information 00H.
I recognize the name. They corrected it. It's a private residence with no apartment numbers.
This is a petition amendment. The initial petition that you can see here has two listed pages 42. And we have here the amended petition with the page 43 and 42 and 41.
But afterwards, everyone is now changed as well, Commissioner, so they numbered sequentially afterwards. I made changes. We'll see if they want to do it in bulk, or they want to just do it individually. Conservative Party County Committee had individual petition sheets were filed with the board, none of which contained page numbers. They were given, well, no, each one is a single sheet. They were given, these are the originals without. They have numbered all of them with one. Commissioners, it depends how you want to do it. You can either create a sheet and just have you do it approved in bulk, and I think if that's sufficient. And we'll just attach it to each one. No, Commissioner, we
Is it
checked
because
it.
they don't understand? I don't understand. why.
They claimed to us that, well, it's only one sheet. Why do we have to number it? And I said, how do we know it's only one sheet? You can claim- With others, because you could, if it was less than 10 pages, you don't need a cover sheet. And so they actually, for a county committee, have 2 or 3 pages. So we did it, but what I'll do is we'll attach it to each, you know what, we'll make it this, and we'll make a copy and give it to CLU that way. So this is Conservative Party Bronx,
Staten
Staten Island. Richmond County Conservative Party County Committee petition sheet. Page numbering defect. we'll run over the Xerox and give CIU a copy, attach it to each page, maybe easier, and probably even putting your stamps on it. That's it?
Yes.
So Commissioner, that concludes the cover sheet review committee meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.